Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 3 of our sports podcast. I'm Brian. So, we are back for the third time, numero tres. So, before we move on to our topics today and everything, let me just explain some stuff real quick. I put a comment out on the Podbean app posts, like on our episodes, because we can no longer actually upload to the Podbean app because it wants us to pay for it. And yeah, I don't feel like paying for that. So, what we're doing instead now is just uploading to YouTube, and we're uploading it to the channel Let's Go Bills 17 explanation mark capital L, capital G, and capital B. That's going to be my YouTube channel. I actually uploaded episode 2 there last night. Already has 12 views, so I'm happy for that. But we just asked that you guys, we hope you we hope you enjoyed the first 2 episodes. So if you did, then go over to that YouTube channel. That's where we'll be uploading weekly, or at least every 1 to 2 weeks. So now that's out of the way, let's get to our topics. Yeah, I will say though, the upsets haven't been as much as like they were in previous years. You remember Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue, and you remember the St. Peter's. It hasn't been anything like that, but McNeese gets the upset over Clemson. Yeah, yeah, and then they proceeded to lose to Purdue yesterday. And at the time of this recording, by the way, guys, this is the second day of the second round of March Madness. So actually, the Florida and UConn game is going on right now. So actually, I might turn that on while we're recording this. But yeah, as we speak, that game is happening. Then Michigan State plays tonight, Kentucky plays later, and all that. But brackets. Let's talk about bracket breakers. Yeah. So brackets. Well, let's go with that. There is currently 3 perfect brackets remaining in the whole world. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened to my and James's bracket. We both lost because of Louisville. Yeah, thanks a lot. But brackets are still holding strong. My bracket has 29 points. I believe James, your bracket has 27. So we're still holding out pretty decently strong. But that Clemson upset was definitely something that broke a lot of people's brackets as well. Yeah, and that was mostly everybody. Yeah, it is, isn't it? But going on from that, McNeese. It was a good game. It was a very good game for McNeese, but they just nothing going on for them in the whatchamacallit second round against Purdue. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, it was probably I think it was more than that. But anyway, let's just go into though about Clemson. 13 points in the first half. Yeah, that's my football team. But Kentucky's still holding strong for basketball. They play at 5 o'clock today against Illinois. Go Big Blue. Any Kentucky fans out there? But well, yeah. I don't think there's many Florida State basketball fans. No offense. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's. I'm gonna go into the official bracket real quick, and we'll briefly go over some of these teams. North Carolina, our home state, North Carolina. Yeah, it was a good first round for them when they got into the tournament officially, but just came short against Ole Miss. Then let's talk about St. John's in Arkansas. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I underestimated John Calipari's ability in Arkansas. No, I think the reason I said that earlier was because, obviously being a Kentucky fan, John Calipari, it's kind of a little iffy of a relationship, but it is they deserve it. They definitely worked hard. They worked their ass off for that. So, and actually I heard that Adu Thiero, apparently their best player, used to be with the Kentucky Wildcats as well. He's going to come back for their next match against Texas Tech. So, that'll be interesting. But St. John's, Rick Pitino versus John Calipari, that match did not disappoint whatsoever. I watched that whole thing. Yeah, it was a good match. St. John's, RJ Lewis had just had a really off game. 3 for 17 field goals, just really, really, really off. But caused him to get benched for the last few minutes, which it was a controversial decision, but Patino, he kind of dissed the media after in his post game conference. You guys can watch that for yourself. But I think St. John's has a bright future with Patino as their head coach. But at least his son is still in the tournament. Really? That is interesting, especially knowing they actually had a decent season. I know, they didn't do as good in March Madness as what they wanted to, but they had a good season. They did beat Kentucky, made a decent run in the SEC tournament. So it is actually kind of surprising to hear that they fire him early. But another coaching news: Will Wade or Wade, I forgot his name, something Wade. Coach McNeese just went to NC State on a big 6-year deal. Yeah, that's kind of sad, but besides the point. Actually, I'm going to comment on this now, live commentary. Florida is currently losing to UConn 52-46. If UConn wins this match, and Florida just scored, it's 48 now. If UConn wins this match, then there will be one perfect bracket in the whole world left for me. I know it's, but yeah, anyway, I picked Florida. Actually, we both picked Duke and Florida to go all the way in our brackets. So if Florida loses, well, won't bracket over, basically. But we will see. March Madness has definitely provided some good games so far, and can't wait to see where it goes next. And actually, Duke Cooper Flag plays at 2:30 or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Anyway, besides that, next week we'll definitely not as many teams to talk about. Also, another team. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention BYU. What a game last night! I watched that one too. BYU in Wisconsin. That was an amazing game. Yeah, I forgot what the guy's name was for Wisconsin, but hold on, I can look that up now. Let's see. Player for Wisconsin. It was Tanjay. I think it was like John Tanjay or whatever. He was incredible. Incredible player for Wisconsin. He put up like 37. Incredible. Incredible game from Tanjay. Gotta give him a round of applause. Whole Wisconsin team. They definitely could have made it further in this tournament. No, it was Michigan who won the Big Ten. Michigan, actually, I picked Michigan to lose in the first round, but yet they still, whatever. Yeah, but apparently Michigan, well, Purdue, don't forget about Purdue, I believe, are in the Big Ten. Yeah, so, yeah. But anyway, let's get to our next topic. We'll talk more about March Madness next week. And our next topic is the WWE. So, the WWE. We have two matches confirmed for WrestleMania just from Friday Night SmackDown this week. Wait, John Cena? Did you just say John Cena? Yeah, no, man, you got to study up. No, I'm joking. But so next match besides that is Orton and Owens. So that'll be an interesting matchup, probably for Saturday. But I forgot to mention we've got to go in to the John Cena promo from Monday Night Raw. Yes. John, what have you done, bro? Like that was pathetic. That was pathetic, bro. That was pathetic. But James, I'll let you explain what the promo was. Like what the dude, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Like John Cena, you just gotta think again. Like to his point, I mean, I know what he's referencing to. He's like, there's half the. Let's give an example. WrestleMania 28, Rock versus Cena. Half people are going for Cena, half people are going for Rock. Some people in the crowds are saying, "I love you, Cena." Some people are like, "Cena sucks." That's probably what he's referring to. But basically, you all know what caught my eye from the promo, bro. Did you see how he criticized that kid? He like pointed out that one kid for no reason. I feel so bad for him. He better get like season tickets or whatever they give out. They better give him free WrestleMania tickets for that, bro. Yeah, Triple H. If you're listening to this, bro, give him free tickets to WrestleMania. Give him free tickets, bro. The kid deserves it. But anyway, so then Cody Rhodes comes out. And basically, what caught my eye from him, again, also, you remember how. Now, this moment wasn't as iconic, but you remember Elimination Chamber when he said, "Hey, Rock, go fuck yourself." Who doesn't remember that? But then he goes up to John Cena and says, "I want to wrestle the real John Cena, not this whiny bitch." That is hilarious. So that definitely catches my eye as well. Man, funny. WWE after, since Triple H has taken over has just been way, way better. Oh yeah, actually, speaking of which, also audience in the comments section of YouTube, we're gonna mention this real quick. We still need a title for this podcast, bro. We still have no title for this. So please, for the love of God, give us a title. Like anything. We like if we don't get a good title within the next 2 weeks, I may just pick the top comment. Who knows if anyone even comments on this? But like, bro, you guys gotta give us some sort of title, man. Like, I may just pick the first comment. We might just roll with that forever. So yeah, we'll get a name eventually. But oh, shut up! You do not talk about my Buffalo Bills like that. Oh, buddy. Mm-mm-mm. Let's talk about Tampa Bay, huh? What happened this year, losing to Washington? Yeah, good for you. Good for you. The Super Bowl isn't everything. It's totally not everything. We need to get back to the WWE. So, yeah, that's basically WrestleMania, but let's preview the triple threat match. Pretty good, just pretty good. You better acknowledge your tribal chief, your original tribal chief. Yeah, you better acknowledge him. Nope, not John Cena. Really? Dang, that's gonna be fun. But I think here's what I think. So Roman Reigns was in a triple threat match a few years ago at WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan and Edge. That was when he was like in his title reign era. We all know that. But he dominated that match. So I'm gonna predictions. I think it'll be a very good match. I think it'll at least be a good 30 minutes in length. But I think Roman Reigns comes out up top by by somehow getting the spear on Seth Rollins and then Punk, and then he gives like the Superman punch to Punk, and then that's how it ends. That will be interesting to see. I wonder if like that Shield aspect will play into this match because it seems like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have drifted away from that ever since last year. You're right. And then Paul Heyman, if you watched Raw not last week but 2 weeks ago with the steel cage match, Paul Heyman was like checking on CM Punk saying, "Hey, what's going on, bro?" So like and then Roman Reigns got very pissed at that. So that would be an interesting thing to see as well. Yeah. Better. But you got to think too. This kind of happened like 2 or 3 years ago with Lesnar as well at WrestleMania 38, and a little bit before that as well. You remember when that happened? That horrible match at WrestleMania 38. You remember that very hyped up match, the best WrestleMania match of all time, turned out being only like 10 minutes or like whatever. Yeah, no, yeah, but that's for a different day. But That's something. But, the WWE is going well, definitely gonna be like we said on last week's podcast, I remember saying this, we may do like a double day recording episode just based off WrestleMania. We may do one for Saturday and Sunday previews. So yeah, that week, actually, we may mark it on our calendar. I know WrestleMania is sometime mid-April. Mark it on the calendar. We may do a double weekend episode if you guys would be up for that. Let us know. Give us a few likes, give us comments or whatever. Comment. Also, speaking of comments, comment your opinions. If you have your own opinions about any of these topics in the comments, please comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah, he has a YouTube channel too, way more subscribers than mine. Yeah, if you go to his YouTube channel, Nasty Beast Unleashed 45. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. But yeah, please leave your opinions known. We love hearing opinions. If there's a topic we missed out on this week, we'll talk about it next week. If you want us to, we'd love to get some input. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just comment, guys. But anyway, that's the WWE. Unless you have any other closing remarks for that, James. All right. Next topic of the day, the NFL draft. Uh, so, yeah. So, last week we talked about, actually, if you really want to know what we talked about last week, go to my YouTube channel. I actually posted that episode yesterday, so you can go watch that if you don't know any of the free agency news. But so free agency shaped up some stuff, kind of shook up some stuff. Like it kind of shook up the Raiders' quarterback plans, you know, but nothing too much. Like Cleveland, it kind of shook up their plans. Maybe thinking they trade Myles Garrett then draft Abdul Carter. That's not going to happen anymore. Clearly, with that extension, or that the Bills would draft a defensive end, but we got Joey Bosa, so nothing more to worry about there. Yeah. Yeah. So what we're gonna do actually for mock drafts, we're gonna reveal our mock drafts today. Top five, only top five, not top 10 yet. We'll get there next week. We'll do top five mock draft this week and everything like that. So James, we'll start with you. Who do you have the Tennessee Titans picking at the first overall pick? And actually, before you say that, I would like to do something. Do 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 do. And with the first overall pick in James's mock draft, the Tennessee Titans select quarterback from Miami. Why do you say that? Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. And now let's go to the second overall pick. Do 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 do. If you don't know what that is, that's like the NFL Network draft sound. Okay. And with the second overall pick in the draft, the Cleveland Browns select. Oh! Whoa! Stunner! Why do you say that? Are Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And here we go. The third overall pick. Nah, 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 nah. All right. With the third overall pick in the draft, the New York Giants select quarterback Colorado. Interesting pick, especially since the Giants did just sign Jameis Winston. Why do you say that? Little shocking surprise? All right. All right. To be fair, guys, I didn't even give him time to think about this. I'm putting him right on the spot. But anyway, all right. Two more picks for you to go. Na, 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 na. With the fourth overall pick in the NFL draft, the New England Patriots select Travis Hunter. I was hoping you'd say that because I was wondering, hey, when is he going to talk about Travis Hunter? But fourth overall pick for you, New England Patriots. Okay. Fifth overall pick. I'm not going to do the thing this time. The Jacksonville Jaguars select who? What? Who? Who is C. Dan Wallace? Okay, buddy, hold on. You gotta explain that to me. Is there a new prospect in the draft? Okay, you heard it here, folks. With the fifth pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars picked the imaginary prospect C. Dan Wallace. That's something. Okay. So, as you guys can clearly tell, this guy knows nothing about football. Like, man, unbelievable. So, I'll give you guys my mock draft. James, take it away. You're the draft announcer now. Actually, it's not the Tennessee Titans. I have a projected trade. The New York Giants trade from the third spot to the first spot with the Tennessee Titans. The New York Giants select Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. No, I'm not. At least I didn't, bro. At least I didn't trade my star receiver. But no, it is not that shocking of a trade as you may think. Tennessee's been hearing many trade calls, and New York, Jameis Winston. It's just he's good, sure, he's decent, but is he really your future guy? Not really. So Cam Ward, I feel like he could definitely sit and learn, and I feel like he would be able to take advantage of the New York Giant offense. Now with Malik Neighbors, he has himself a stud weapon, so that's why I think the trade makes sense for this pick here. Dang, he's pissed off. All right, second pick, roll it in. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. Because now with the here's with the Browns. I feel like the Browns pull a stunner, and I feel like they pick Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders will be very pissed, but we'll see. But I feel it. Deshaun Watson's not your guy anymore, and I feel like drafting Shedeur Sanders is just a fresh start. And with Jerry Judy on the team, I feel like he could do pretty decent with Nick Chubb as well. So we'll see with that. Dang, this guy's mad at me, guys. Abdul Carter, defensive end, Penn State. What quarterback do they have left? Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward already left. Here's what I think on that. Tennessee picks Abdul Carter, get some nice draft capital from the New York Giants, and I believe that they're going to pick a quarterback next year. I think they're going to pick Carson Beck next year if Carson Beck breaks out. I feel like Carson Beck would be a way better fit in Tennessee than Shedeur Sanders. You know what I mean? Okay, we'll see how he does with Miami. But this is based off the projection that Carson Beck rebounds with Miami and becomes a first round pick prospect again. Yeah. Projected trade. The Jacksonville Jaguars trade up one spot in the draft and select Travis Hunter out of Colorado. I'm going a little crazy with this mock draft. This is the Jacksonville's defense is in shambles. They need another corner piece in the defensive field. Travis Hunter, perfect spot for that. I feel like he'd fit well within the Jacksonville defense. And Jacksonville gives up some draft capital to New England, who New England will get the fifth pick in the draft. Yeah, man, it's something. It's something. But here we go. All right. Here, there are two options for this pick. They either stay safe and draft Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU, or they trade away Ramondre Stevenson before the draft, and with the fifth pick, they pick Ashton Genty. Because New England, Ramondre Stevenson's good, but you gotta think, what would Ashton Genty be able to do in that offense, bro? Like that's something a lot of people don't think about, but I don't think that'll happen. I actually think they'll pick Will Campbell out of LSU. But if there was a shocker, that'd be the shocker. Yeah, bro. We're big fans of you. You should have won the Heisman. We're so sorry. Oh yeah. Anyway, so that's it for the NFL. Mm. So who's gonna win that race, do you think? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Um, Actually, I don't know because I haven't watched NASCAR in a few weeks. But all I know is that Christopher Bell has won a good few races. Actually, is it the majority of the races he's won this year, or has he won half the races? Okay. I think that he comes top five at Homestead, but I don't think he wins. Um, Surprise pick. I'll go with Austin Cindric. I'll go with Austin Cindric or Kyle Larson to win today. Denny Hamlin's also another choice too, in my opinion. So yeah, like I said, I'm not much knowledgeable in NASCAR, but you know, it's whatever. Oh, okay. Okay. I wonder if he's going to try that with the Indy 500 this year again at Charlotte or whatever. That'll be interesting. Yeah, because of the rain delays and everything. It was a little unfortunate last year, but this year may be different. So we will see. Yeah. But let's go on to the last topic of today. And this is going to be an interesting one for you guys because we haven't talked about this yet on this podcast. And no, we're not talking about the NBA this week, guys. We're sorry, but nothing really much happened there. But oh, guys, all to all of LeBron's children out there, all of LeBron fans, he's back. Yeah, my man's groin has gotten better. He is back, and they lost to the Bulls by like 30 points last night. Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of games, guys, I may have a winner in the Connecticut game. Hold on. I don't know if the game is over, but this will determine a lot of people's brackets futures. The the game, Florida is up by 5, 6 seconds. Two brackets will survive. Connecticut puts up an amazing effort, but it will not be 3 years in a row for Connecticut. It is Florida's time. Yeah, guys. Connecticut is losing. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And let's see, who would Florida face? Florida will either face Maryland or Colorado State. Okay, don't say that. They're going to lose then. Knock on wood, real quick. Anyway, all right, next topic. Golf. So I am actually gonna try next week, guys. I forgot to mention this too. We may be getting a special guest on next week. Yeah, this man, he's a golfing. He loves golf. He took us to Top Golf a while ago. The one, the only big teddy bear of a man, Jake. Yes, guys, he's a big teddy bear. Is that's how I like to call him. He's built, but he's a super nice person. So I may try and get him on this podcast next week. I'm gonna try and beg him, but we'll see. But the PGA Tour. So nothing much going on this week, but what I want to talk about is the Masters. So the Masters. Scotty Scheffler won last year. We all know that. But will it be the same this year? Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of good golfers around the world. Yeah. Yeah, I did, I remember when I followed golf last year, I got caught up into it, but then I kind of lost interest, but now I'm probably going to get back into it. But basically, I'm going to tell you who the top 5 predicted winners are probably going to be this year. It should probably either be Rory McIlroy, Connor Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, of course, Xander Schauffele, and I'm gonna go with Shane Lowry. I've heard he's pretty good. So I think Scotty Scheffler, he's won 2 years in a row, right? Or I might have to fact check. I'll get Jake to tell me that later. But Scotty Scheffler, great golfer. You know what I mean? Sadly, got arrested at Louisville last year. That was something. That was unfortunate last year. But anyway, I feel like he has another chance at the Masters. It'll definitely be an interesting weekend. And I actually advise you guys to watch the Masters, even though people are like, golf is boring. I personally think that golf is a very interesting sport and isn't talked about enough. Yeah, I mean, golf is interesting to watch. So I would recommend you guys watch some golf. Maybe not 5 hours of golf, but just a little bit. Just watch a few holes, and then you'll see how the true beauty of golf is. Yeah. But anyway, guys, that's basically all the topics we've got for y'all this week. Next week should definitely be a little more interesting with the Elite Eight will be determined for March Madness. We'll have a top 10 mock draft prediction in the NFL. And hopefully, maybe get Jake on this podcast next week or maybe the week of the Masters. See what happens there. Okay, buddy. Okay, hold on. Actually, I'm beating you right now. I'm actually beating you. I don't know what you're trying to talk about. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to this episode. Hopefully, it wasn't too boring for you, but a little bit on the shorter end this week. We have topics, but not as much within the topics this week. So, like I said, this will be on my YouTube channel. Let's go Bills 17 explanation mark capital LGMB. Yeah. Your support means the world to us, guys. I know we don't have many people right now, but in total on Podbean, we actually have like 32 people that have listened to this so far, and that's incredible, actually, for being an app like that and undiscovered podcasts like this. That's actually really good. Yeah. Oh, it's awesome, bro. I love it. Love doing it with you, man. Incredible. Just again, thanking all our supporters and make your opinions known in the comments, guys. And if you like the podcast, yeah, we're not asking you to listen to the whole thing if you don't want to. Just skip ahead. Skip ahead to your favorite topic and let us know your opinions on this. We'd love to chat with y'all. And also, I check the channel pretty frequently, so I'll respond to you guys. I'll respond to a lot of your comments. So and then you know, yeah. So yeah, we've got. I've only got 2 subscribers right now, but I'm hoping that goes up in the future. We'll get there, guys. Don't worry. We'll get there. But, like I said, make your opinions known. If there's a topic we missed out on that you want us to talk about, we'll talk about it. We're open to new topics. We need more topics, actually. So we'd be welcome and open, And like I said in the first episode, I'm going to do a face reveal at 100,000 views. That's a long way down the road. I know, but we'll see. Yeah, not anytime soon, but yeah, guys had a lot of issue. Again, this won't be on Podbean anymore because they want you to pay for everything, which I ain't gonna do. I'm sorry. But thank you to all our Podbean viewers. If you're listening to this, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, you guys will follow us over to YouTube. If not, just thank you for listening to us for the first week. We appreciate your support very much. Um, you know, Thank you to all my family and friends who listened on it as well. Appreciate you guys so much. Wouldn't be here without y'all. Family and friends are always priority. But guys, thank you so much for listening to the third episode. We'll bring you another one. Hopefully, we'll bring you another one next week. And mark your calendars for the two episode all WrestleMania focus. That's gonna be coming up. Ah, buddy. We both have Duke in Florida in the final. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm beating you right now. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see, buddy. We'll see. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm Brian, and us sports podcasters signing off for this week. See y'all next week, y'all. Adios. Bye. Oh, that was weird, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. I'm Bill's fan, Brian. Adios.